It's almost like the human race shouldn't exist. What's up, guys? It's Devin Harrington, the average Gen Xer. Welcome back to my channel, where today we're taking a look at some stories written by women who were either on the fence about having kids or who had decided to be child-free, but then plot twist, they changed their minds, and they are here to tell you that you should always go with your gut. So let's check them out. But first, as I do on every video on this channel, I just want to take a second to beg and plead with all animal lovers out there. Please consider going to the website of your local animal shelter or rescue. Find out how easy it is to volunteer or sign up to be a foster, even if it's just a short-term foster. This little munchkin is my Ella Bella, and she has been with me for a couple months now. She came from a puppy mill / animal hoarding case and was one of 50 dogs seized from a house. And she was one of the more traumatized individuals. So she's been with me for 2 months and she's doing really good and coming out of her shell. And she lets me pick her up now and she doesn't squirm and she's okay with being held. She's learning that humans are not all bad. So if you love animals, please, please do your little part to help save the world. Go to the website of your local animal shelter or rescue. I promise you, they would love to have your help. Do it for the animals. Thanks. Okay, as always, when I read posts from regretful parents, please remember that I don't read these stories to mock or shame these folks in any way, but simply to stand as a cautionary tale to anyone who is on the fence about having kids. So if you are someone who has always known that you didn't want to have children, like myself, you're dyed-in-the-wool child-free and you want to find out what you missed by not having kids, I am about to tell you. And if you are someone who has always wanted kids and you cannot wait to be a parent, good for you. I am truly happy for you. You are the people who should have children. It's everybody else who just goes into it thinking it's natural. I'll just, instincts will kick in. Or how hard can it be? How much can it cost? I don't have to give up my time. All of that bullshit. If you don't know what it's like to really commit to being a parent, then you need to listen to these posts, in my humble opinion, on my humble channel. First post is from the Regretful Parents subreddit, and it's by user Spoopy Clouds. I hate motherhood so far. I am a first-time mom to a 5-week-old. The pregnancy was a surprise, but me and my husband were in a far better position when finding out about it, and after careful consideration, we decided to keep the pregnancy and have the baby. Now, see, that is what you would want to have everybody do. Really think about it. How is it going to affect your life? If it's a surprise, an oops pregnancy, which there really isn't any such thing. If you have sex and you're fertile, you got a chance of getting pregnant, regardless of what birth control you use. But these folks seem prepared and thoughtful and ready to bring a baby into their family. She goes on. Then, this summer, life went to shit, and we haven't had a minute of respite since. When I gave birth in November, the first week and a half was bliss. My baby ate and then slept in his cot immediately, and all was well. And then, for some reason, he started having difficulty latching and getting full enough in general. He started having horrible gas and reflux. Oh, poor little baby. That just shouldn't be a thing, Like, babies can't even tell you what hurts, and they're so susceptible to digestive issues. It's really not fair. It's almost like the human race shouldn't exist. She goes on. The gas drops we got him weren't working, and he was spending the evening screaming and writhing away in pain. My husband also got sick, and he ended up having postpartum depression and postpartum PPD, and hold on 1 second. Stand by. Holy fucking guacamole. Another reason not to have kids. So PPD is postpartum depression, which is incredibly common. PPR is less common, but also happens to a lot of people. And it stands for postpartum rage. Is it? I mean, there's literally nothing good about having a baby except that you get to carry your name on, I guess, if your child outlives you. I don't know. I don't understand why you would do this to yourself. But in this case, this is interesting. My husband got sick and he ended up having PPD and PPR. I also started having symptoms of PPD and PPR. Stopped breastfeeding and that slightly helped, but baby was horrible with reflux and isn't latching well to the bottle. His eating and sleeping is a mess. We are also moving at this time and he's been fighting his sleep the past couple of days. I was the kind of person who always thought I would love motherhood. Ever since I was 6 and my mom died, I have wanted to be a mother. Oh, God, that's sad. That's really sad. I wonder how many women have lived through a similar situation where they are motherless and they want to embody the mother that they lost. She goes on, I have wanted a baby since I was 15. Now I hate it, and I feel so guilty about it. I love him to death, and I'm afraid if something ever happened to him, but I also hate this new life and how tired I am. She's 5 weeks in, mind you, and the baby is very unhappy and has a lot of digestive issues. So obviously it's not always going to be like this. But this is someone who dreamed of having a baby, who would love to be a mom. And she hates it. So what's up with that? Because women and girls are told from the time they are girls that giving birth is the only way a woman can know true love, that you will not know true joy unless you have kids, that getting married is the greatest day of your life. And then the days your children are born are the greatest days of your life. And that may be true. That may be true for a lot of people, but it still doesn't mean it's true for everyone. And we need to, in my opinion, stop fucking bullshitting girls into thinking that pregnancy and childbirth is easy breezy. Maybe for a few lucky women it is, but for the majority, it's fucking miserable. I was in my 50s. I'm 55 now. I think I was like 52 when I learned that over 80% of women tear giving birth. How did I not know that? I mean, I've never given birth, but that should be common knowledge, shouldn't it? I wonder why it's not common knowledge. Because society has always kept the facts from women. Because if you educate women, they're going to run off and go get careers and have their own money and their own jobs and their own agency. And they're going to raise their kids by themselves and they don't give a fuck about you. So we got to keep women down. We got to keep them uneducated, pregnant, and in the kitchen. What am I ranting about? I think what I started to say is she's 5 weeks in, and I feel for this woman, and I feel for her in a way of like she was duped. She was lied to. And she seems to feel like she lied to herself because she thought she would love motherhood. Now, that may change, of course. She may love it at a different stage. But right now, she's not having a good time. And, you know, women are supposed to accept the fact that when that baby is placed on your chest, that is your entire world. Your entire personality is now to nurture that little one. And it should be for a while. But not all women bond with their babies. Not all women, you know, there are women now who are forced to give birth in the greatest country in the world. So no, it's not the greatest love you'll ever know. Maybe it is for some people, but it's not. You can't force that on women, and that has been forced on women since time immemorial. She goes on. Now I hate it, and I feel so guilty about it. I love him to death and I'm afraid of something ever happening to him, but I also hate this new life and how tired I am, especially with moving in the mix as well. It doesn't help that he isn't the cuddliest baby, and I feel like I can't bond with him at all. And he is only in my arms when he's screaming out of hunger, tiredness, or gas pain. Any advice or encouraging words are welcome. Oh, God. Yeah, she needs some encouragement for sure. That sounds like a miserable situation. At my wits' end, said, I say this as an RN who's worked as a pediatric nurse before. He may need to get evaluated for a tongue tie. Huh. Another thing I never heard of. A tongue tie in babies. Issues latching often come from that. Colic can often happen because of bad latching, causing baby to gulp air while feeding and get bloated and gassy, leading to pain bad enough to make them cry. Well, that's a fucked up evolutionary process, because shouldn't we have evolved past that now? I mean, bad latching can just destroy a little baby because they can't get enough food and they're miserable and they're crying all the time. That's not a good life for an infant. I just don't know how the human race made it this far. It's really one of the mysteries of the universe. Peaberry Dough Girl said, yeah, my daughter never latched, and it turned out she had a lip tie. Okay, so the lip tie is like a little piece of tissue that anchors the lip to the upper palate, and then the tongue tie is like under the tongue. So, Titty Boobs said, me, mine is now 5 and I still don't enjoy it. I love her, but parenting just isn't a job I enjoy doing. She had awful reflux and colic, cried constantly. It was lockdown and I had no support. It got a bit easier, and then she got diagnosed autistic, and here we are. Great. I think my problem was I romanticized motherhood so much, and it's been nothing like I wanted. See, this is the problem. Women are just brought up in the 21st century, in 21st century America, we are just brought up to believe Disney is real, and that the more money you throw at a wedding and the more gorgeous stuff you have and the expensive dress and all that, that determines the quality of your marriage somehow. And it's such nonsense. You could spend $1 bazillion on a wedding and be divorced, before the ink dries. We all know that. And yet, so many women do this and think this is how it's going to be. And it's not how they think it's going to be. She goes on, 5 weeks is still so early. There's lots of time for it to pick up. So try and make time for yourself. Tell people how you feel and know they won't stay this small and helpless forever. Alenchi said, I wish all mothers were as honest as you. I bet no one would get pregnant if more women didn't sugarcoat the reality of motherhood. There you go. That's what it is. We would probably have like 2 billion people on Earth if women were brought up knowing exactly what they were getting into with pregnancy, birth, and motherhood. And the OP responded, I hope he settles a bit once he's older. Both me and my husband are currently waiting for him to be a bit more mobile and interactive so we can show him things and play with him properly. I think this moment is approaching as he seems more aware of what's around him. And he's also starting to make some little noises other than those newborn grunts. Has even had some of those reflex smiles happening more often, and they're the sweetest. Oh, well, that's good. Good. So I'm glad that she is finding the silver lining, but man, what a drag to want something your whole life and then get your dream and have it suck. It's really too bad. Okay, next up is from the subreddit Breaking Mom, and the user Novel Childhood says, I hate motherhood, and this is a confession. My child is 7 years old, and I haven't been happy since before I was pregnant. Well, just tell us how you really feel. I haven't had one single year that I've felt truly content. Might be important to note that I am a single mother, and that's likely why I feel the way I do. I regret becoming a mother so much, the guilt eats at me. I hate playing with my child. It annoys me. I hate feeding my child. I hate bathing my child. I especially hate taking them out places. This sounds, it sounds shocking when you read it out loud, but think of all the millions and billions of women who have felt this way all through the years who had no place to express this. It's really sad. She goes on. I feel like all the fun is sucked out of my life. Yeah, because it is. It's freaking work. Taking care of a baby and a kid. I mean, it's work. You cannot go to sleep when they're awake. You have to keep eyes on them at all times. The fact that people don't know this and they're irritated by it, not this lady in particular, but I mean, you have no excuse now. I haven't looked, but there's probably a YouTube video of an infant screaming bloody murder in the middle of the night. Play that when you go to sleep. See how long you can stand it for. She goes on. I knew I didn't want children from the start. Oh no. But my religious family and judgmental mother pushed me to keep my child when I found out. That's just awful. I mean, the person who talks the woman out of terminating a pregnancy she wants to terminate should have to take the baby on. I mean, you wanted it in the world, so you didn't believe this woman who said that she was not prepared in some way to take on a baby. So you should get it. You can do all the work. I should have kept that shit to myself, but I freaked out when I found out I was pregnant and I didn't know who else to call. I deeply wish I could have terminated when I had the chance. Don't get me wrong. I know I sound like a monster. No, you don't, ma'am. You do not sound like a monster. You sound like a woman in the 21st century who is deciding what to do with a pregnancy she doesn't feel is the time for, or she does not want children. That's a perfectly rational decision. No one would question a man choosing not to have children. And it should be said, does anyone know any men who have been told that they'll never know true love until they have babies? Because I've never heard anyone say that to any of my brothers, but it sure has been said to me. She goes on. As much as I hate motherhood, I still do what's right. I take my child out and I fake having a great time. I hate being touchy, but I cuddle my child as much as he wants. Then what the fuck did you have a baby for if you hate being touchy? To please your mother? I mean, people fucking grow a pair. Your mother's not going to be around to raise this baby for you unless you're a fucking scumbag on drugs and you just leave your parents with your children because you're irresponsible. But that's a whole other video. Okay, this person goes on. I hate cartoons, but I pretend to care about them anyways. But when I'm alone, I think of how much I hate my life and what it's become. I will never have another child. Ma'am, I really hope you get your tubes tied or get a bisalp or whatever it's called. I will never do this again. I won't rush my child to grow up. They deserve a beautiful childhood with endless great memories. Well, that's good of you. And I damn sure will provide that. But I cannot wait for the day I can be free again. I know motherhood doesn't end, but I pray my child goes away for college and learns to live his life independently as soon as he possibly can. Well, that's kind of on you, ma'am. You're the one that's going to teach him how to be independent. I'm terrified to be a grandmother, as I'd hate to help raise another child, but God forbid my son does become a father. Teach that boy how to put a condom on a cucumber from the time he starts masturbating. Okay, there, I said it. God forbid my son does become a father, I will do the right thing and offer all my help, even if I hate doing it. What kind of life is that? Even like what example are you setting for your children? If your son was in this situation, would you want him to just throw his life away and be miserable? I mean, you only live once, you know? No one knows for sure if there's anything after this. Why spend your one life being miserable? I owe my child the entire world, but damn, I'm filled with so much regret. I am drowning in it every day. Every day, I'm extremely tempted to take my life, but I can't. I'd leave my child parentless, and I couldn't leave him like that. His life would be terrible, and it would be all my fault. So I just suffer in silence. I hope someone, anyone, can understand me. I love my son so much, but if I had a time machine, I would never have had a child in the first place. I am so sorry. And the reason these people are so miserable is because kids are the one thing that you cannot ever undo. Even if you give your child up for adoption, there is an energetic connection. They'll find you in the future, no matter what kind of adoption it is. I mean, with all our tech, they can find you. But once you have a baby, there is a tie to that child. You are never going to be the person you were before you got pregnant. Your body isn't even the same person. So think long and hard before you get yourself into this, and don't let anyone's fucking religion dictate how your life goes. Okay, getting off soapbox now. Dramatic reserve. I 100% relate to these feelings. I have nothing but regret that I have enslaved myself for the next 20 years. She's talking about the thing that women are told that they will never know true happiness unless they do this thing. You will never know true happiness, real joy, or true love until you do this thing. And the same thing she's saying, I have nothing but regret that I have enslaved myself for the next 20 years. Explain the cognitive dissonance, you know? Could it be that women have been lied to the entire existence of mankind? Yeah, they have. I cannot even get an hour a day to myself or do a task for more than 10 minutes without constant interruptions. I regret and hate my life and myself every day. That sucks. That ain't no kind of a way to do nothing. And yet, it's like the tale as old as time. She's a single mom. She doesn't have enough money to move or change things or do anything different. That's why it is so important, if you want kids, to wait until you get established in life and get some fucking life experience, in my humble opinion. Training editor said, I think radical acceptance is important here. Don't judge your feelings, observe and accept them, and then carry on. Lots of us feel similarly. I feel like certain things about my personality make me ill-suited for this. Then that's why you should think about it. Don't just get knocked up and then decide, I guess I'm going to be a mommy now. Maybe you'll be good at it. Probably you won't be. Most people suck at being parents. Let's just be real. Look at the state of the world. I need a lot of sleep. I'm an introvert. Same. I feel almost silly sometimes having not one, but 3 kids, given the limitations of my personality. Well, to be honest, ma'am, that is a really stupid choice you made. I thrive on order, and parenting is chaos. Oh, I really feel that one. Yeah, I thrive on order too. I'm that nerdy person that's always straightening everything. It's like OCD kind of thing. And I got to have, everything in its place. Everything neat and tidy, no dust, no mess, no clutter. That's reason number 865 why I don't have kids. All that is to say, those feelings are normal. They're just not expressed as much. Except on Reddit now, thank God. So accept yourself. You are not alone. And give yourself credit for showing up, even though you don't feel like it. You're a good mom who is going to be okay. That's nice that they said that to her. Pom Pom 1985. I don't think I hate being a mom, but I do feel very similar to you a lot of the time. My daughter is 12 now, but autistic and developmentally delayed, so she will be living with me until I die, most likely. You definitely aren't the only mom to feel like you do. Yeah, that's just a tragedy. I can't imagine what that must be like. You would, of course, love your child, but you'd be lying if you said that you weren't disappointed, that they are not going to go do all the things that you dreamed of them doing. And she's right. She's not the only mom that feels like that. That's really sad that we have Throw a 1593, I realized how much society and culture lied to us and how much the elder women gaslit themselves. Oh, yeah. Motherhood is the toughest job on the planet. Yes, it is. When, even if you have help and health and money, the things we deal with and have to be aware of are too much to handle for one person. But you know what? We as women don't break, we bend. I have often felt how you feel, but I am not going to let anything or anyone or any situation disturb my mental health anymore. We have to become mentally so tough and take the best care of ourselves in any small way we can. That way, we increase our chances of having a happy life despite the struggles. You know what would greatly increase the chances of having a happy life is to not have kids and feel this way for the rest of your life. Okay, and finally, back to the Regretful Parents subreddit. This is by user Dutch French Lady, and she says, regrets. I wish I could go back in time and tell myself, don't do it. Never have children. I have 4 children. Jesus. I mean, if you don't like it the first time, do you just keep rolling the dice to see if you get something better? 4 times? They have all grown into fine adults. Well, that's good. But they are very selfish, just like so many people of this generation. I think every generation says that about the next younger generation. They're all so selfish and self-absorbed. Yeah, they are, because they're young. After giving them everything, I feel drained and I wish I never had children. I'm ashamed. No one talks about an empty nest or about the time. I gotta make this a little smaller. She goes on, no one talks about an empty nest or the time that has passed and been wasted. And how selfish they can be and how they blame you for everything that goes wrong in their lives and in the world. Everything is our fault. I wish I could go back in time. I would not have children, knowing and feeling what I feel today. I feel like I wasted my life on children instead of on myself. My God, you did. How is that not clear? It's not like you wasted your life. You had kid after kid after kid after kid, raised them all to be fine adults, so that's good. But yeah, in order to raise 4 kids into self-sustaining adults, you have to give up your life. I mean, this is what they don't tell women. It just, they make it, society, the media, other women, you know. Do you ever see at a family reunion, there's always that circle of older ladies sitting there in a circle whispering, talking about this one's, what happened to this one in childbirth and the trauma the other one went through, but don't tell the younger women. I mean, the fact that this is possible to keep information from people when we literally walk around with the sum total of man's entire freaking knowledge of the universe in our hand at all times. I mean, if you're planning on having a baby or if you're on the fence about it, for the love of Christ, please do your research. I mean, you wouldn't move to a new neighborhood without checking out the neighborhood, maybe looking it up online, getting some stats off of realtor.com or something. The fact that people do something completely permanent so flippantly is just beyond me. She goes on. I feel like I wasted my life on my children instead of on myself. I rushed through life, always busy taking care of others without enjoying it. But unfortunately, you can't go back in time. So I smile and pretend. Does anyone else feel the same? You know what would do you good is to be authentic, in my opinion. To just be honest. You don't have to tell your own children that you regret having children. That's probably not a good idea. But don't fucking pretend. You have Reddit to talk about it, and so you should start talking about it to your friends. This is why this goes on, because women feel such shame and guilt and fear of what other people will think if they say something like this. But it's on Reddit now, so that's the first step. We're talking about it. Gen X women are going to break that cycle. We're all in menopause now, and Reddit is full of women saying, why didn't my mother tell me about this? Why didn't my grandmother warn me about this? There's no excuse. Do your freaking research. It is your body. Okay, comments on this post. Amit Nagpal 1985. This is the realest post I've seen on this sub. At least toddlers are cute. Adult kids are more like forced acquaintances. Zealous Ideal Show said, mine are still pretty young, but I'm already starting to feel this way. I'm the one doing everything for them, yet they go to others for fun. After everything, I have no time and money for myself. I hate it. You could have prevented all of that by not having children. You could be off laying on a beach right now, counting your money, sipping frozen margaritas. Thriving 1684 said, yep, I'm 60 years old and I still have one kid at home. Been putting everyone first for decades and have nothing to show for it. It's an eye-opening experience when you see it. Yeah, I think that is becoming, more and more and more of the female population, thanks to all the information we have at our fingertips now. There are more and more women finding out that it's just not worth it. We don't need any more people. We're almost to 8.5 billion. We only got to 4 billion in the mid-1970s, and we've already more than doubled that. And that means we're going to double it again in less time. That's unacceptable. The planet can only support so many people. Anyone that was alive in the 70s, even if you were a little kid like me, the 70s fucking kicked ass. The 70s, there was people around, but there was never too many people. Everybody was super chill and laid back, and it was great fun being a kid in the 70s. Anyway, Big Atmosphere commented, would it happen to be a son? I'm doing research. Oh, the kid at home, a son. And Volume 4T said, I imagine the traveling, seeing the world, meeting new people, going on spontaneous adventures, pursuing a career, all robbed for selfish brats. But they're cute when they're babies, right? And you want that picture of you holding your little infant because you won't know true love if you don't have babies. Why are women treated like fucking children still to this day? And why do so many of us still believe this nonsense? She goes on, I swear parents hang on to the hope that let them just turn 18 and then they'll be gone and out of my hair. That's wishful thinking. Your parenting ends when either you or the child dies. Until then, it's a lifelong dungeon of despair. I would actually caveat that by saying your parenting ends when you die. Because even if your child dies before you, how awful. You're still a grieving parent, and you will be their parent until you die. So there is no, I can't wait till they turn 18 and I can do what I want. No. You really are going to put your entire 18 years, that's like, a good chunk of your life. It's not worth it. And there is post after post after post on all of these subreddits just sounding the alarm bell that this isn't worth it. There's not even like a purpose to it anymore because the world is overpopulated. Peanut butter is $9 a jar here in Texas, okay? Nobody should be having any babies, in my humble opinion. And that is what I have for you today, guys. So please let me know your thoughts in the comments. Are you someone that was on the fence and decided to have a baby and now you're thinking you made a mistake? Or do you have friends who were staunchly child-free and changed their mind? I would love to hear everyone's opinion. Everybody's got their own story, and every single one of them is fascinating. So I thank you for stopping by to hear me talk shit on the internet, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much.